In this scene, we see maintenance work being performed on a pipeline. However, there is a serious hazard. Lockout/tagout has not been applied. The flange of the pipeline has been opened without isolating the energy. Pressurized steam or gas is escaping from the line, which may lead to burns, toxic exposure, or even an explosion. Any intervention on equipment without proper energy isolation can result in severe accidents. Before any maintenance activity, mechanical and energy isolation must be applied and the lockout/tagout procedure must be implemented. Remember, never start work before isolating the energy. In this scene, we see maintenance work being performed on a pipeline. However, there is a serious hazard. Lockout/tane this scene, we see maintenance work being performed inside an electrical panel. However, there is a serious hazard. The electrical panel is still energized and lockout/tagout has not been applied. While one worker is working inside the panel, an electrical arc occurs. This can result in electric shock, arc flash, and severe burns. Intervening on electrical equipment without proper energy isolation is one of the most dangerous causes of industrial accidents. Before any maintenance activity, power must be isolated, lockout/tagout must be applied, and zero energy must be verified. Remember, never start work before isolating the energy. Gout has not been applied. The flange of the pipeline has been opened without isolating the energy. Pressurized steam or gas is escaping from the line, which may lead to burns, toxic exposure, or even an explosion. Any intervention on equipment without proper energy isolation can result in severe accidents. Before any maintenance activity, mechanical and energy isolation must be applied, and the lockout and tagout procedure must be implemented. Remember, never start work before isolating the energy. In this scene, we see a process equipment vessel opened for maintenance or cleaning. However, a serious hazard is present. The equipment hatch is open and the worker is intervening inside the unit. However, lockout/tagout has not been applied. There may still be pressure, temperature, or hazardous gas residues inside the system. The equipment could also start unexpectedly. Working inside equipment without proper energy isolation may lead to entrapment, burns, toxic exposure, or severe injuries. Before any intervention, all energy sources must be isolated, lockout/tagout must be applied, and the equipment must be verified safe. Remember, never start work before isolating all energy sources. In this scene, we see work being performed inside an electrical panel. However, there is a very serious hazard. The panel is energized, and during the intervention, an electrical arc occurs. This is known as an arc flash, which can happen in a fraction of a second. An arc flash releases extreme heat, pressure, and intense light, which can cause severe burns, blindness, or even death. Another critical issue is visible here. The workers are not wearing arc flash protective PPE. When working on electrical panels, energy isolation must be applied. Appropriate arc flash PPE must be worn, and safe working distance must be maintained. Remember, an electrical arc can change a life in a second. In this scene, we see maintenance work being performed in an electrical transformer area. However, multiple serious hazards are present. First, a worker is working on top of the transformer without any fall protection system. At the same time, there is a high voltage and arc flash hazard on the equipment. The electrical cabinet is open and lockout/tagout has not been applied, which means the system could become energized unexpectedly. On the ground, there is an oil leak, which creates both a slip hazard and a potential fire or burn risk if it contacts hot surfaces. One worker has already suffered an electric shock, and some workers nearby are not wearing proper PPE. Before working in high-risk electrical areas, energy isolation must be applied, proper PPE must be used, the work area must be secured, and a permit-to-work system must be followed. Remember, one unsafe condition can trigger a chain of accidents. In this scene, we see a cleaning activity being performed using compressed air. However, several serious hazards are present. During compressed air cleaning, sand, dust, and small particles can be projected at very high velocity. This can cause eye injuries, head injuries, and severe impact hazards to workers. It is also visible that the workers are not wearing appropriate personal protective equipment. There is no face shield or eye protection. When compressed air is used improperly, it can easily lead to serious accidents. During such activities, proper PPE must be worn, the work area must be controlled, and compressed air must be used according to safe procedures. Remember, even a small particle can become a deadly projectile at high speed. In this scene, we see work being performed in a battery maintenance or charging area. However, multiple serious hazards are present. First, a short circuit has occurred on the battery system, generating sparks that may lead to fire or explosion hazards. Battery systems can also produce acid splashes or acid vapors, which can severely damage the skin and eyes of workers. Another critical issue is that the workers are not wearing appropriate personal protective equipment. There is no face shield, chemical-resistant gloves, or eye protection. Additionally, the equipment appears to be energized and lockout/tagout has not been applied. When working in battery maintenance or charging areas, energy isolation must be applied, proper PPE must be worn, and the work area must be properly controlled. Remember, when electrical and chemical hazards combine, a small mistake can lead to a major accident. In this scene, we see maintenance work being performed on an electric motor. However, several serious hazards are present. First, it appears that lockout/tagout has not been applied, meaning the equipment has not been properly isolated. Working on rotating equipment without energy isolation can lead to caught-in or entanglement hazards. During the maintenance activity, metal particles and sparks are being projected, creating a risk of flying debris injuries. There is also an oil leak around the motor, which creates a slip hazard and may indicate equipment failure. Additionally, the workers are not wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as eye protection and hearing protection. Before working on rotating machinery, energy must be isolated. Lockout/tagout must be applied and proper PPE must be worn. Remember, rotating equipment can cause serious accidents in seconds.